Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Now, in his testimony, Dr. Kiesling calls for economic, social, and behavioral studies to understand the implementation of research results like stronger building codes. I think this is something very important that we have to use the lessons from social science to ensure that the other lessons that we are learning from research get implemented. Can Dr. Kiesling and other witnesses expand upon that and where exactly they see the importance?
Well, I think implementation is a serious problem in many areas. I would back up a little bit and say that in terms of improved building codes, we can do a lot of good by simply meeting existing building codes. They're not, say, effectively enforced or inspected. But if we increased the design wind load only a small amount, we would save a lot of property, because even in a tornado, most of the damage is done at wind speeds, say, in the 100 to 125 mile per hour wind. And if we design for a little bit more than we do, 90 or 100 mile per hour winds, that would save a lot of the structures that are currently being destroyed. I don't know what the answers are to implementation, but I see it as a serious, serious problem, not only in enforcing building codes, but it haunts me that I hear reports of traffic deaths in our city, and in many instances that people were killed in rollover accidents without wearing their seat belts. So they're sitting on property they already own that can be very effective in saving lives. And so it should not surprise us, I think, that we have problems in enforcing building codes and motivating people to do a better job of construction. I don't know the answers, but I think we need to involve maybe social sciences and disciplines that we have not effectively engaged before, to see how do we implement what we already know. But there's much more to be learned. I don't say we have all the answers. We need to learn much more, but we also need to do a better job of using what we already have.
We are hoping actually to gather social scientists at our research center this December, so that we can really begin to explore that in more detail. To the extent we've sort of sketched out the way we think about this issue, we think it's first a question of sort of getting the hearts and minds of people, getting them to really sort of want this, and we talked about that a little bit before in terms of one of the answers to the previous questions. The second is providing the adequate incentives. That's for both individuals and for states. An example of how that might work at the state level is the State Building Code Incentive Act that also has been introduced in this Congress, provides additional funding for states that do the right thing in terms of enacting strong building codes. That's a financial incentive. There can be other incentives for individuals. And finally, understanding the politics of this. We talked about the builders. We have to make this a win-win proposition and make the market really want this to happen for us to sort of address those social science issues.
I might add that NOAA and the NSF, National Science Foundation, last year, they operated, or they organized a pretty comprehensive workshop called Weather Ready Nation, in which they brought together the physical scientists and engineers with the social scientists to actually discuss the issues of weather, acknowledging that, yes, forecasting has got us so far, and yes, we are better at it, but the property damage. So the move has been started. There is a report which, if you would like, I can provide that link to you, in which we are now working with social scientists. I was on a rapid NSF project in Moore, Oklahoma, and we did involve Mississippi State social scientists and social scientists from the University of Alabama, as well as ourselves, engineers in other universities.
Thank you. Yeah, I'd like to take a look at that. I think it's something that we oftentimes overlook. I think in legislation here, we should make sure in NWERP that we include social sciences, because you can do all the research that you want to know how to mitigate damage to property, threats to human life if no one is implementing those. And we don't know, as Ms. Ballen said, we're not sure about the incentives of how to get people to actually take that into account. Then we just have research sitting on a shelf that's not doing anyone any good. So I think that's something important that we have to make sure that we are considering here in providing at the federal level. I'll yield back. Thank you.